All right, let's call to order the Board of Supervisors Light Improvement District meeting to include Bowie, Golden Acres, Naco, Purtleyville, and Purtleville and Sunsites. The board will convene all of these districts, these meetings simultaneously. The agenda for the Improvement District, the board meeting today is Tuesday, June 10th. We're meeting at the Board of Supervisors Executive Conference Room, or excuse me, no, we're meeting in the boardroom. In the boardroom, Melody Lane, pursuant to ARS 38431.02H. The public will have physical access to the meeting place 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Any item on this agenda is open for discussion and possible action. Members of the board may attend in person or via Microsoft Teams. The public may also attend via Microsoft Teams or the mobile app. The board may permit public comment during the discussion of any item on this agenda. To speak on an agenda item, complete and return the speaker request form to the clerk of the board by 9 a.m. on the day of the meeting. We'll begin with a roll call. District 1.
Crosby is here.
District 2.
Gomez is here.
And District 3, Antonori is here. All supervisors are present and in person. So let me see here. All right, we have a couple of people that have requested to speak. So let's call the public. Okay. All right, so we're going to do call to the public. We have two folks that have signed up to speak. The first is Mr. Dan Baker. Mr. Baker, are you here? Or are you online, sir? Calling Mr. Baker.
He did say he was going to attend via Teams, but I do not see him.
Okay, all right. So we'll just set him aside. We'll give him another shot. And then the next individual up to speak. See a name on here. Oh, Timothy Frazier. I'm sorry. Mr. Frazier, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You have 3 minutes, sir. Come on to the... Yeah, you got to come to the microphone so it can be recorded in the record. So we'll accommodate you. I'm sorry. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Frazier. I signed up to speak publicly. The first item on the agenda is the public light improvement. I'm going to be honest with you. Flashlights and batteries are cheap. Citizens can afford them. We need to stop the pork barrel spending. The party's over. We don't have money for that. Our GDP has surpassed what we make a year. We are broke, and you need to start acting responsibly. The thing that I ask myself every day is I have all these representatives representing, and look at the shape I am. It's terrible. There's nothing good in society. We've been in a depression for years. You can listen to what the government says, 8% inflation, but no, it's a lot more than that. Another reason I'm here to speak on is what we call the Cochise County Planning and Zoning HOA policy. Basically what happened to me is I had a tenant living in a house that got mad at another tenant, called the county and filed a complaint on planning and zoning, which fell back to me. He in turn filed a complaint against the neighbor. This is vindictiveness. This is something that I could see in Nazi Germany or East Germany in the Stasi or the KGB, but turning in your neighbor vindictively. There's even been a case where a guy wanted a guy's property and he filed an anonymous complaint. And the guy got kicked off his land. He can't even live on the land he's at. And I know that there's places out in the valley right now that they're living in sheds. They're living in RVs. And you guys are not enforcing your code. It's only by the citizens. Now just think of this. What if the citizens went around enforcing laws? Because that's what you're setting up. Now you guys, you got a decision to make, because this is going to be everywhere. Because I guarantee you this doesn't go on in a lot of places, but Cochise County, well, you guys just get away with what you can get away with. You make the money, and we don't ever see your improvements in Elfrida. I don't even know why I'm paying my $6,000 in property taxes every year, and I'm getting treated like this. You are responsible for this. You will be responsible for this. And guys, get your statements ready for the news, because I'm not here because I want to be, but I'm tired of it. And you guys are letting this go on, so you're endorsing it. So it's not bringing about peace. And when something happens in that valley really bad, and the root cause is your policy, well, you're going to have to answer for that in court. Now, I've got 26 seconds left. I've got a lot to say. We've got a dairy out there that you guys absolutely think is wonderful. The thing I'm wondering is, how did the last bunch of supervisors make it all the way up to Riverview in Minnesota? That seems like somebody gave you money to go up there. Now, if that's not buying you off, I don't know what is. Guys, I hate to be here. I don't want to be here. But you know what? Your behavior has brought me here. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll try one more time with Mr. Baker. Is Mr. Baker online? Did he come back up?
Yes.
There you go, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Yes. Like the gentleman said there, we're letting big corporations just walk and trample all of our rights. But when it comes to our citizenship, we're a little bit of mess, this, that. They can't even function at their own home. Corporations are able to lie on applications here. I have submitted all 3, and thank you again for serving us and taking the time to listen to us. The community's sick of us tending to the corporations instead of the citizenship. You all are up there for us, not these corporations. I get it. We're becoming fascist really fast, where the corporates just run us. But when our rights are getting trampled on by toxins, we still don't have a test. It's been over a year. I've been asking for one test across these facilities. We have 10,000 more acres of industrial solar facility going in. Not just that, we are also sitting here dead in waters because we still don't have a contingency plan how to deal with any of these BESS systems if they go thermal runaway. Your lives up there will be also hurt by any of these thermal runaways, by any of these systems coming in. I've told you guys a year ago, the inverters can be hacked. About 2 weeks ago, they're telling you, the FBI, everybody else, they can be hacked. But we care about that citizen and how they're trying to just pay you taxes. And then here, you got 18,500,000 panels here at $1 a piece. That's $18 million. Instead, you guys want to raise our taxes. We live here too. You all were all voted in because we believe in you. Please, when people are able to lie on applications and you see them in front of you, that's I also put on there the crimes they did. When is it going to stop? If I lie on an application up there, I get thrown away. But when corporations do it, it's okay. You know, please hear out the citizenship here. We're all concerned about what's happening. Our little bit of land we have, we're paying too much already in taxes, but yet we don't have a say. Somebody complains, hazes somebody else out. They don't like how they look. We're getting back to them days. Or maybe their skin tone, maybe their religion. You know, some people's way of, hey, I like certain stuff might not be the same as this next person, might not be the same as that person. That's what freedom's about. We're starting to lose focus.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. So let's go on to the consent agenda. At this time, I'd ask for a motion.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, yes, ma'am.
There is not a consent agenda.
Oh, we go. Item number 1 is not on the consent agenda?
An action.
It's the minutes, just to approve the minutes?
Sorry, you're correct.
That's okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So can I get a motion? There's only one item on the consent agenda. So it's like a motion to approve item number 1 of the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve consent agenda item 1.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Motion on the floor. Any discussion?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, for agenda item number 1?
Yeah, for the
Oh,
lights.
okay, go
For the
ahead.
lights.
Go ahead.
Is there anybody here who can talk about the Percival Light District? Let me just say this, that when I was campaigning, I knocked on all the Percival doors. That's where I grew
Hey,
up.
hang on.
Yeah.
This is to approve the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is to approve. This is to prove that we get you the next
Okay,
5
all right,
agendas. We
all
can
right.
hit each one of
Sorry.
those. This is just to approve the minutes.
Just to approve the minutes. Okay. Second. And we
Okay.
did that.
No,
Okay.
no discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Motion carries 3-0. Now, hang on there, Supervisor
Okay.
Gomez. We'll get to you in a second here. We're going to let Ms. Gilman basically do a brief explanation of what we're looking at here, and then we'll take it item by item. Ms. Gilman.
Thank you, Chairman Antonori, supervisors. Today we have the street light improvement district budgets that are under the board's authority as you're sitting now as the board of directors of these light improvement districts. Light improvement districts are for replacing street lights within these rural areas. The taxpayers within these areas pay a secondary property tax to fund these light improvements for their street lights. If you'll go to the next slide. The budget for these light improvement districts is primarily to pay the utility costs of those lights. We do not go in excess. If they do have reserves, we rely on those reserves and then lower the tax rate accordingly to meet that budget. And I'll turn it over to Stacy if she has anything to add.
So, starting with the first Napo Lake District, we're.
Excuse me, Stacy, could you bring the microphone close to you? Thank you.
You guys have to pardon me. I have a really bad cold, so I sound like a broken sometimes. So looking at the first NACO light district up there, we have a reduced budget for this year and also a reduced rate for this year. They have a contingency, a carryover that we're going to spend down this year. So as Ms. Gilman said, when there is a carryover, there is a cash contingency. We work to make sure that that doesn't get overinflated, so we're not overcharging our districts on their secondary tax rate. We go ahead and bring it down. The inverse happens when those rates are insufficient to pay for the bills, the light bills and the per parcel fees, and there's not enough carryover or none, then we go ahead and raise the rates. So NACO had a reduction this year. Sunsites is flat. Bowie had an increase this year to cover what is a dwindling pot of funds for them. Golden Acres is flat this year. Hurdleville was decreased this year as they have a healthy contingency.
So decrease or for 26 is 32. This year was 24. Did you say decrease or did I hear you wrong?
Hurdleville?
Yeah.
Decrease.
Is it decrease?
Yeah.
A decrease in their rate when we get to the
Oh,
rate.
okay.
You'll see that in August, but their budget increased simply because of the cost of the utilities, but yet their rate, they had a healthy reserve, so their rate could be
It's going
decreased.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. By how much do we know?
3% now.
3%.
Just to the FDAT, there is the fire district assistance tax. It's not related to light improvement districts. It's kind of, we threw it in there because we didn't know where else to put it to inform the board. It's not something that you approve, but at this time, but it is just information only that is a tax that's in statute.
Does that, that's a fire department?
Fire district assistant tax. It's then disseminated out to all the districts.
I see. So it isn't an entity that has its own board.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
thank you.
I just want, before I go, give Ms. Gomez a chance to speak. I want to make sure everybody understands what light improvement districts are. These are ballot-approved measures that were voted on by the locals in these specific districts to tax themselves to put up streetlights in those districts. We act as the board, and as the county administrator just said, it's basically to cover the costs of paying the electric bills to keep the lights on. We're literally keeping the lights on, and to address the aspect of if people are unhappy or don't like the light improvement district, they can always run a ballot initiative to have it removed. And that will make that portion of their property tax go away. So it's not something that's permanent, but it was voter approved. It wasn't done by the Board of Supervisors, and it can't be taken away by the Board of Supervisors. It has to be done through another vote. So I just wanted to put that out because I was just responding to a comment someone just sent me, thinking that we created them. So
Do we know that in fact all of these special districts were created according to the rules that we've seen, gathering signatures and all that?
I do not.
Do we trust?
Yeah,
that?
I do not. I do not, Mr. Crosby, but I would, that was, obviously, I don't know when these were implemented. They're way before our time.
Yeah, many decades ago.
Yeah, many, many decades ago. So, but, you know, as far as the comment that we control the aspects of this, we do not. We only pay the bills if the voters want to remove these, if they live in one of these areas like Naco or Sunsites or Bowie, they can put it back on the ballot by gathering signatures and have the district dissolved. But we don't have that authority. So we're here to review and approve as necessary. So with that, Ms. Cummings, did you want to comment
Yes.
now? Sure, go ahead.
So during my campaign, right, I went out and I knocked on every door. I grew up in Purteville, and there were so many lights that weren't working. And so when I came, the first thing I asked was, what is this, light district? And they go, oh, well, there's a board. And I'm like, okay, well, who's on the board? And then I find out that, I guess we are the board, right? But the one thing I ended up doing is I had the whole list of the lights in Purteville given to me. And I had people in Purteville, because this is my question. We pay, I know in 21, I think it was in 22, it was like 12,000. Then it jumped, I think in 23 and 24 to 25,000. Yet nobody goes out and checks to make sure that these lights are working. So we write a check, we give it to them, and then APS, in my understanding, is supposed to check these. Well, they didn't. So I had people who lived there go out, I gave them a list, and they came back with a list of lights that didn't work. Then the APS kind of said, okay, I'll fix them. And then I had them go out and check again, and there were still some lights not working. So I'm going to the town hall meeting June something. I can't remember what it was in Purteville. And, this is an issue. We're paying a lot of money, and there some kind of policy or procedure in which we make sure that APS is making sure that these lights are on.
So as my understanding that the clerk of the board coordinated with the APS to get those lights fixed and provided the list.
Right.
In Purteville, there is a perhaps community issue of vandalism on these lights. So it is an ongoing matter is what I understand.
Not all of them, some of them. And what's happening is that's properties that have these abandoned trailers on that the cartels or the drug guys are using, and then they do shoot it out. I was thinking, can't there be a really thin mesh that goes over them? But that's maybe 10, 20%. The rest of them are, I have old ladies that I know from when I was growing up say, we don't go out at 6 o'clock because the lights, it's so dark out there. And so my thing is we need to have a policy to make sure that APS follows up and checks these lights at least twice a year and then reports back to us. Because I don't really think with the Purteville residents paying, extra property tax, that they should be the ones going out and checking them and then sending it to me and then I send it to APS. I mean, that's just not the right way to do things. And so how are we going to make sure that when we write these checks to APS that they're actually going to make sure that these lights are working? And if there's a problem, they should be reporting back to us, because they don't report to Purteville, but they supposedly report back to us. And unless I was pushing it so hard, I don't think they would ever, respond back. So do we have anything to make sure that they're checking these lights, make sure they're working?
Supervisor Gomez, I would like to continue to work with the clerk of the board to address this with APS and come back to you with more information.
That'd be great, because I am going to go and we're going to do another check before the town hall meeting to see what lights are working and what are not. My next question is, if Douglas annexes Purteville, which I don't know if the Purteville residents want that, but the mayor would like to do that, what happens then? Then we would not be responsible for the lights anymore, correct?
Depends on what the city of Douglas works out with APS.
Right. I would
Yeah.
think that would need to be addressed at the time of the annexation.
Okay.
There would be, just so I'm aware, I know the process, there are certain requirements for annexation. If there is infrastructure that is public infrastructure, public funded or paid infrastructure, a lot of times the city would have to reimburse that public entity for the cost of that infrastructure, but I don't know, this wouldn't fall into that
Right.
category. Like a sewer plant, for example, if Pearlville had a sewer plant, the city of Douglas would have to buy the sewer plant or pay for the sewer plant and things like that. And that would be some that have to be negotiated as part of the annexation process. But I don't think for this that would apply to this because
So we would-
this is just paying the electric bill.
Right.
So the infrastructure that's there would just become part of the city's.
Part of the cities. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we would be let go of that,
Yeah.
that obligation because I actually think the city has a better rapport with APS. Their lights get fixed and Purdyville just doesn't. So, one thing this community says, don't forget us. And I don't plan on forgetting Purdyville at all. So just be aware that there might be an annexation. I don't know. We'll see in the next, maybe 6 or 7 months.
One would think APS would want to keep the lights on so the meters keep running so they make
You
more
would
money.
think so. You
So-
would think so.
So,
But and I would encourage all these other localities, if your lights, check your lights. If they're not working, report back to us because that should be something that is done, automatically once or twice a year. Let's make sure all the lights are on. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I had a comment, which was.
Mr. Crosby.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There are county islands in the city of Sierra Vista, and the same issue was happening there, and it was SSVEC was responsible for the maintenance. And so, one day I went out at 3:00 in the morning and checked them, and by that time they'd been fixed. So if you want somebody to fix them or check them, maybe
Yeah,
it's you.
yeah.
It was me, so.
No,
Kind
it's-
of unfortunate you can't be everywhere at once. I remember, hey, somebody should do something. Isn't that what I always say?
Well, yeah, and I went out one night, and my problem is I can't see at dusk too well, so I'm driving and looking for the numbers on the poles to make sure that that's so I asked a couple of constituents who live there to do it, and it just really should be. I mean, that's a lot of money every year.
Hey, it was a constituent that just happened to go to the gym I go to. Hey, I live in such and such a place, and all the lights are out. He said, so I go out there, and by the time I got there, I already called the city, called SSVEC, and they got
put it on.
fixed. And it's like somebody must have flipped a switch. So besides the electricity, somebody replaces light bulbs. That's the
Yes,
power company
so-
replaces the light bulbs also.
And on the lights that were broken in Purtleville, APS did cover the cost of that repair.
Well, yeah, they should because they keep on getting money every year, and I think they didn't have lights for 4 years, so they made some money off of us.
Can I combine all these into one motion or I got to do them individually?
We do need them individually for the record, so we'll
Okay.
just
All
run
right.
through them.
All right. So I guess we'll knock these out real quick. Okay. So can I get a motion to move agenda? Are we any other discussion? Okay. Can I get a motion to move agenda item number 2, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Bowie Light Improvement District adopt the tentative budget of the Bowie Light Improvement District for fiscal year 2025 and 2026 in the amount of $14,183.
Second it.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 3-0. All right. Next item number 3, please.
I move that we approve Golden Acres Light Improvement District adopt the tentative budget of the Golden Acres Light Improvement District for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $8,388.
Second.
All right. We have a motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries 3-0. All right. Agenda item number 4, please.
Mr. Chair, I move we adopt the tentative budget of the Naco Light Improvement District for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $9,931.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve agenda item number 4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. All right. Agenda item number 5.
I move that we adopt the tentative budget of the Purteville Light Improvement District for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $32,044.
All right.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. All right. Final one, agenda item number 6.
Mr. Chair, I move we adopt the tentative budget, the Sunsites Light Improvement District for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $33,484.
Second.
All right, we have a motion seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries 3-0. All right, the next meeting following this is going to be the Library District meeting to adopt the tentative budget for fiscal year 25-26. All right, the Light Improvements District meeting is adjourned.